gets it to go and the foul. Going under it. And he makes the catch. And for the first time since 2005, your Wellesley Raiders are the Division I South Sectional Champions.
Running back another way for the Raiders. Burning shot.
Score! Sophie Burning finds the back of the net from the face-off circle, and with 1:14 to go, the Raiders take a 3-2 lead.
And welcome back to an all-new Black Red Blitz. As always, I'm your host, Rebecca Karen. Well, what better way to check in on this new episode than with Raider baseball? Who could forget their phenomenal season last year in the MIAA playoffs? Wellesley, the number 13 seed and clear underdog, beat Mansfield, Durfee, Barnstable, Bridgewater Raynham, and Lowell, all higher seeds on the road on their way to the state championship. First time since 2005, Raiders were the D1 South Sectional champs and the 2017 Eastern Mass Division I champs. Let's do it again this year. Losing to Taconic in the state championship was tough. There's no doubt about that. But the core group of players who remain on this year's roster is just as worthy to talk about a postseason repeat. Getting some revenge beating Taconic 13-2 just a few days earlier, another team they pushed out of the playoffs, Barnstable, would come in here hoping for some revenge of their own. Red Raiders versus the Raiders. Bottom first, starting pitcher Jordan Leandre with his flowing locks and beard. Yep, he's in high school, quickly gets in a jam here. But with 2 on, 2 out, Raiders can't take advantage as Kai Groke loops a single left center. Colin Blasco being aggressive on the base pass, speeds past second on his way to third. Pat Sheeran with a throw to third, Blasco is out. That is the third out, no run across, and Barnstable gets out of that jam. No score. Top second, a single and hit batter, put 2 on, and now it's Barnstable's turn to try and erase the 0 on the scoreboard. But Henry Weicker digs in on the mound, faces down the pressure, and despite both runners in scoring position, blows this pitch right by Michael Martyr for the key second out. And then makes Casey Proto swing at nothing but air. His back-to-back Ks by Weicker are huge. That gets Raiders out of that inning unscathed, and it's still 0-0. So looking to break this scoreless tie, we check into the top third. Pat Sheeran makes some noise with this double, crushing it to dead center. Red Raiders get their lead man on. That brings up Ryan Proto to the plate again. Henry Weicker delivers a low pitch, Holt Fletcher can't snag it, and that pass ball is crucial as Sheeran moves up to third. The very next pitch, just a simple grounder to short, gets that run across. So Barnstable takes a 1-0 lead in this third. So we would have to fast forward all the way to the bottom 6th here. In a tight 1-0 game, pitcher Jordan Leandre on the mound has handcuffed the Raiders' bats so far. John Wernley leads off, bunts, and is safe thanks to some major hustling down the first base line. The runner is on. Henry Weicker rips it past the infield. We got a rally starting up here. 2 on, no out. 1 out later, Tommy Lieberman at the plate hits a grounder to first. This could be a crushing double play, but again, hustle by Lieberman forces Michael Martyr's throw to be rushed, and it's not even close. And that throwing error allows Wernley, who was at second base, to come home for the equalizer. We got a game here, tied 1-1. 7 innings would not be enough for this battle on the diamond, so after the top 8th brings nothing for Barnstable, bottom 8th, it's all about being clutch. Old Fletcher steps into the batter's box, 1 on, 1 out. First pitch, Fletcher sees, he absolutely crushes. There's no question whether it's gone, it's where did it land? Clutch and more clutch. Sophomore and catcher, Old Fletcher does it with 1 swing from the bat for a dramatic and fantastic walk-off 2-run homer in extras to win it. Raiders take this one in style, walk-off style, as they win it in 8 by the final. Raiders 3, Red Raiders 1. Sticking around here on Friday, we head next to the high school gym where boys volleyball certainly struggled to find any consistency in the winning department. In fact, their first victory of the season still eludes them at 0-7. But on this day, Raiders would have no problem taking care of their next opponent, the Southbridge Pioneers. First taking care of the serves, senior Alex Barron would kickstart this Raider advantage with multiple aces, including this one, as miscommunication on a perfectly placed serve gives more points to Raiders as it drops in untouched. And it's 3-1. Both Southbridge initially hanging on early here, tied 5-5 off this Axel Mercado serve. Dylan Horkin says enough and lays down this one-handed jam for the kill and a 6-5 edge. Seconds later, Dylan Horkin again patrolling the middle and owning that spot with another spike in Wellesley point. And then Hurricane connecting on this solid serve as Alex Barron finishes by taking his place and guarding the middle. The jump, perfect timing for the kill. 8-6 Raiders. Alex Barron continuing to find those spots where Pioneers just cannot answer back on defense as Wellesley now holds a 3-point edge up 9-6. Besides the seniors and captains doing their share helping out, I've already been really impressed with sophomore Thatcher Makonga. Coming off the bench, Makonga immediately makes an impact connecting on this kill that cannot be matched. 14-9 Wellesley lead. Then getting this solid kill from Captain Chris Nowak not only gives Wellesley a 15-9 advantage, but helps Raiders maintain the edge and outscoring Southbridge 10-3 the rest of this first. Wellesley takes the opening set easily here, 25-12. Now down 2-0 in sets, Pioneers know the time for action is now. Though an uphill battle remains, the 3-1 edge initially goes to Southbridge here as they take advantage of a few Raider miscues to open up this third. But Raiders offense continuing to control the pace, and after erasing that 2-point edge Pioneers had going for them, Wellesley gets on a run of their own, mixing in some kills by Chris Nowak. The advantage is 7-3. Then before you know it, Wellesley holds a 10-4 lead and not stopping at adding to it either. After Pioneers counter back with a few points of their own, possession is taken right back by Wellesley. Dig, set, spike goes down perfectly as this time Charlie Gordon gets the kill to make it 12-6 Raiders. Senior Dylan Hurt then laying down these solid serves for aces, like this one here is a diving attempt by Juan Solero, still isn't enough. 15-6 lead is all Raiders. Wellesley would take care of the rest of this third as they reach 25 points first by a landslide, taking this third and final set 25-10. The Raiders really needed a win and finally punch in their first right here. Even better by way of the 3-set sweep as the final here at the gym, as well as a 3, Southbridge, nothing. Well, girls lacrosse already rolling over their competition on their way to an impressive 8-0 start would face a familiar opponent in the Milton Wildcats as they made a pit stop to the stadium here on Tuesday. Now, if you remember last year in the playoffs, Wellesley easily took care of business, pushing Milton out of the playoffs in the quarterfinals. But if Wildcats came in here looking for some revenge, well, their hopes for a spoiler would quickly fall flat, as Wellesley takes command early and often, even in these first opening minutes this first half. Hard to stop this intensity, barely a minute past the opening faceoff, Caitlin Tchaikovsky with the ball fires it ahead to May Sheehan. Sheehan buries the feed easily for a 1-0 score. Then up 3-zip, Caitlin Tchaikovsky again pushing the ball upfield, not letting off the gas pedal either as Bridget Noonan takes that Tchaikovsky dish, and with determination, Noonan is not going to let Milton's defense or Kat Buchanan in net stop her from scoring. Just like that, Wellesley's up 4-0. Raider breakaways galore here in these first 25 minutes, as Wildcats think they've finally caught up on the defensive side, stopping a scoring edge for Gail Bennett. But Bennett, patient, waits and sees Caitlin Tchaikovsky speeding through as the cutter. Tchaikovsky takes the feed, weaves around Julia Scannell, and fires another past Buchanan. The Wildcats are in for a long day here as Wellesley keeps adding on 5-0. Ensuing draw off that score, Nicole Beckett again dominating the faceoffs here, pushes the ground ball ahead to Maddie Balter. Balter catches up to it, retakes possession, fakes a shot left, deeks right, and risks the laser shot into the back of the net. 6 scores already as this one is all Raiders from the opening whistle. Wildcats off that latest Wellesley score are able to collect themselves, at least for the moment, when the draw and setting up a play finally get on their own offensive end. Tri-captain Kelly Shea is able to find a net for Milton, but they're trailing 6-1. That 5-goal deficit would go right back to 6 for Wildcats as Raiders have an answer quickly, and it's a good one. Gail Bennett again being patient, waiting for the play to develop, does, but she finds the cutter Maddie Balter with a perfect dish only Balter can get. Raiders keep it coming offensively as they cruise through these first 25 minutes. Coming out of the break, Wildcats need a whole lot of chipping away at this double-digit deficit they're looking at. Get a quick positive as Kelly Shea again dishes ahead to Avery Blasdale, and Blasdale turns and fires the bounce shot through. And then down by 10 again, but this time 12-2. Kai Diani, a force to be reckoned with on the soccer field, ain't too bad of a lacrosse player either, as Diani finds separation and slings in a score of her own. But Milton is still down big here, 12-3. After Milton adds another, down by 8 now, Lydia Olette cuts inside and will be denied. As a commanding 11-1 halftime lead for Wellesley, it's now a 12-5 edge. Wildcats starting to make things look a little interesting here, but track captain Caitlin Tchaikovsky says, okay, that's enough, and isn't going to be stopped on this play either. She fires it low for a 13-5 lead that has stayed all game and won't be erased either deep in this second half. Raiders offense stayed hot all game, and despite Milton's 4 second-half scores, that would not even be close to a comeback bid as Raiders stayed aggressive. Wellesley remains unbeaten in yet another Bay State Conference shutdown, and improving to 9-0 continued to battle Walpole for first place in this heated 3rd division. For now, can enjoy another crushing of Milton. Thursday would take us to the lacrosse game of the week as the boys, number 10 in the Herald's EMAS rankings, would face off against number 15, the Newton North Tigers. A solid team was giving Wellesley a run for their money in seasons past. Due to a scheduling conflict thanks to weather, the game would find its way back to Sprague Field, the Raiders' old stomping ground. Let's just say, as the person behind the camera, not a fan of coming back to this place. Field level, blind spots, refs in my way of goals, sun in my eyes, just to name a few. Let's instead just check into the intensity on the turf that really would never let up on both sides all game long. Newton North has the 5-1 edge in these early minutes of the second quarter. Tigers have controlled the tempo of this one, and Wellesley needs a score. They need it now. Insert Hugh Callahan for the clutch response. Callahan, patient, makes a move toward net, fakes high on Spencer Harris, and buries it low. Seconds later, Raiders offense starting to wake up here and strikes again as Hugh Callahan rises to the occasion once again. Coming off a great screen by Henry Gear, winds up and buries a rocket shot right by Harris, going back-to-back with Callahan scores. Wellesley now trails 5-3. The Raiders D cannot provide an answer for junior Hunter Adam, as he leads the way already with 4 goals in this first half alone, and it's something to say after burying this one too. So heading into the half, it's Newton North who holds a 7-3 lead. Whatever was said in that break though, man, do the Raiders respond here in this third? How about 16 seconds to be exact? Michael Bones centers it to Graham Reverett, and Reverett sets and fires the always tough to defend bounce shot. And number 16 Graham Reverett sparks Wellesley's offense right there in 16 seconds. You knew it would only be a matter of time before Tigers just could not deny Michael Bones anymore. Bones is anything but quiet in this third. Michael Bones' goal here cuts it to 7-5. And then Bones cranks it in the cage just minutes later, and we got only one goal that sets these two teams apart. And Raiders ain't done yet either, as Will Manning gets his move to the net, cut off by the double team, but just as quickly finds himself in single coverage again. Adjusts and cuts and drives hard now with only one defender on him. And Harris can't catch up to that cannon. Just like that, Raiders have tied this one up in the third, 7-7. What a game as momentum has without a doubt found Wellesley in this third. And even on this crucial Wellesley turnover, Tigers can't even bury an empty netter score right here. So for the moment, we're still locked in, tied at 7-7. So as Tigers fail to capitalize on that opportunity, a minute later, Wellesley cashes in. Michael Bones looks to pass it, then sees no one's covering him, and launches a laser into the back of the net. With 5 scores unanswered, Wellesley not only leads here 8-7, but it's their first lead of the game. With just under 7 minutes left to regulation, that all changes. This is the first time Tigers have trailed all game, but Hunter Adam makes sure that's the last time. Defended well, but he still finds enough separation to laser in the equalizer, as his 5th score ties this thriller back up 8-8 with 6:54 to go. So no surprise this intense match cannot be decided in regulation. To sudden death we go. Hunter Adam has been dynamic all game, so as Adam draws Wellesley's defense with him, a quick pass and dish in the crease finds an open Chris Claflin. And Claflin does not miss. and that is game. As the Tigers storm the field in celebration, lobbing Claflin, the rest of the Raiders stunned, as overtime is won by Newton North instead. Just a back-and-forth battle here by two outstanding teams that lived up to all the hype. Unfortunately, Wellesley's comeback bid in that third would not be enough for the win as they lose in sudden death here by the final. Newton North 9, Wellesley 8. So coming off that tough loss and sudden death, what better way to respond than starting a new week off the right way with a W. Another tough opponent would make its way to Darcy Field. This time on Monday, it would be Melrose stopping through. Carrying an unbeaten record of 9-0 with them, the Red Raiders would hit a roadblock called the Wellesley Raiders. Let's check in on the action as Raiders carry a close 2-1 edge into the second quarter. Just outside the crease, Jack Wells here fights hard and gets the shot off, only to get a Teddy Darcy rejection in return. Brendan Fennell on the doorstep scoops it up and rips in the equalizer, and it's 2-2 now. That tie won't stay long at all, when it's up to Michael Bones. Just minutes later, from about the 30, Bones makes his move on the attack. Michael Bones fires a laser shot goalie Matthew Roca ain't catching up to. Bones with the go-ahead score gives Wellesley back that one-goal edge here, up 3-2. Soon after, Raiders go man up and make Melrose pay the price. Michael Bones dishes it back to Callahan. Callahan stutter steps right, spins left, and ropes it 5-hole for a 4-2 lead in the second. Ready to close out this first half with the momentum, Jack Hughes does his part right here, staying aggressive and firing it high-low. As Raiders looking ready to spoil Red Raiders' perfect record, Hughes helps Wellesley carry a 3-goal lead into the half, now with only 2 more quarters to go. With Wellesley adding another for a 6-2 third quarter advantage, this is when Melrose finds a way to strike back. But as soon as Wellesley answers with their 7th-team goal on the day, again Red Raiders kick it into high gear as well. As Chris Cosolito brings possession upfield, Cosolito fires it down the middle, Christian Nyland on the doorstep, and Nyland goes high-low on another Melrose score, cutting into the deficit, down 7-4. Closing out this busy third, talk about determination as Brendan Fennell collects it at the X, breaking free behind the net. Despite Matt McKenna's stifling defense, Fennell finds all net and then some for the score. 7-5 as we head to the final 12 minutes. But just as decisive as he was back in the second quarter, erasing a 2-2 tie, Michael Bones, realizing nobody on this roster wants back-to-back losses, makes it count with this play. As Wellesley continues to find Roca's weak spot, hitting the goalie low, and it is paying off and then some. Immediately after a missed shot on goal attempt, Hugh Callahan takes the ball out from the end line, determined to get the dagger. Callahan ignores the incessant poke checks from Lewis Izzy. Callahan gets free from Izzy, turns and fires his rocket shot high-low. And that is clutch, as this fourth quarter finds Raiders solidifying their lead here. They're now up 9-5. Whether some leftover bitterness from that overtime loss to Newton North just days earlier gave Raiders extra motivation, it certainly didn't hurt either. Red Raiders undefeated no more as the Raiders get back in the win column. And this W feels good as they improved to 7-2. Well, coming in at 3-1, softball would be delayed and getting more chances of stealing away some solid victories away from the competition. And once again, after back-to-back postponements due to, of course, the weather, who just never takes the hint, they'd finally be back in action here on Monday. Or guess what? Here at Lee Field, the rain would start falling down once again. Last day of the month, just rubbing it in here, like we really need more bad weather. Yep, perfect day for softball, everybody. Nobody out, runner on second, Milton gets right to work here, top first. Jack Conroy at the plate takes this Elizabeth Dew pitch and rips it to the left. Jillian Vaughn off on contact easily scores, and Conroy's RBI double gives Wildcats a 1-0 edge. 1 out later, bases now juiced with Wildcats. Lindsey Jensen connects to right for the sac fly, and Milton comes away with a 2-0 lead already. But leading off bottom first, it's all about hustle as Mackenzie O'Neill's grounder hugs the third base line. The throw is there, but with O'Neill stretching for the bag, O'Neill is safe, gets right back up, and heads to second. I can't help but shrug as, hey, you find a way to get on base anyway. 2 outs later, O'Neill now at third. Sophomore Allison Goringer, having a fantastic season offensively, adds to it by driving this pitch to the left for the RBI single. And after one played, Wellesley has cut the deficit in half to 2-1. Jump ahead to the third, Raiders down 6-3, but chipping away here. with Elizabeth Dew on base leading off with a single. Allison Godinger makes it second and third as she ropes this one left center to start up a rally. Dew then comes across after a careless pass ball by the catcher gives Elizabeth Dew just enough time to speed down the third base line and slides safely across for a much-needed run. Raiders trail 6-4. To the fourth, though, Milton quickly loads up the bases and walking in one already. This pitch here by Dew is a tough one to take as that sure looks like a strike on the inside corner, but instead it's ball 4. Heads up play, though, seconds later after another run crosses the plate. Infield is in. Shannon Schaefers grabs this Jillian Vaughn grounder, no hesitation, fires home, and gets Isabel Johnson out. Remember that close inside pitch that went for ball 4 instead and walked in a run? Well, this pitch here looks to be exactly in the same spot. Oh, but now it's strike 3. Dew gets Isabel Calcagno out looking. Trailing by 5 runs now, Raiders keep doing the little things, though, as they look to cut into that deficit here in the bottom 4th. 2 on, 1 out. Taylor McLennan grounds out, but it's just enough for Liddy Schultz to come around from third, make it 9-5. Then Elizabeth Dew next up in the batter's box just crushes this Samantha Jensen pitch, and that easily scores another Wellesley run, who still trail 9-6. But it seems like every time Raiders dig in with another rally and answer back with a few more runs, Milton does the same exact thing as well. We head to the bottom 6, and Wellesley down 10-6. But again, though losing, Raiders aren't giving up either. Ellie Kinney on second isn't standing there for too long as Mackenzie O'Neill almost rips the sewing off this softball. Driving it deep to right past Allison Brink's diving attempt, and O'Neill stands in at third with the RBI. 2 batters later, off this error by Isabel Calcagno, O'Neill happily heads home for the 8th run as Wellesley is still hanging in here, down 10-8 to the final 7th we go. But Milton puts the finishing touches to their lead, pushing 3 more decisive runs across in this 7th. And Raiders now have run out of answers come bottom 7th, so instead fall in a tough loss to the Wildcats. Wellesley played well, knocking in 8 runs is a great chance to come away with a win. But on this day, Milton just drove in more. Despite Raiders being resilient every inning, finding ways to answer back, in the end, Milton's 13 runs that they drove in as a team would be too much to match. Final here at Lee Field would be Milton 13, Wellesley 8. After mixing in some weather delays along with a road trip, Raider baseball would finally be back in action here at Sprague, where, of course, no surprise, their original Friday matchup with Braintree would be postponed due to, you guessed it, weather. So let's fast forward to Tuesday afternoon instead, where this would definitely be a game Raiders would be looking forward to, coming in at 5-3. They'd be facing a little bit more struggling Womps team this season, but come on, it's still Braintree. 2-time Super 8 champs, 5-time state champs. They still know how to win, so a victory by Wellesley today would be a huge confidence boost to a Raiders team that is starting to find a good rhythm. So, game time. This time, the weather would be perfect for some baseball as Raiders bats get right to it here in the bottom 1st. Womps starting pitcher on the mound, John Tellier, walks the first 2 batters he sees. Then Henry Weicker lays down a perfect squeeze bunt down the third base line. Weicker hustling to first beats the throw. Everyone's safe, bases juiced, nobody out. Next batter up, Kai Groke bloops a single to left, and that easily scores Colin Blasco for the RBI and first run of the game. Raiders continuing to cash in on the baseball fundamentals as Max Zajac lifts a sac fly to center. That's more than deep enough to bring home John Cholfi. So after 1 played, Wellesley holds a 2-0 edge. Wellesley would have sophomore pitcher Jay Driver on the mound for this one, and man, was he ever ready for this challenge. Blowing the fastball right by multiple Womp hitters and getting others to ground out. A whole lot of 1, 2, 3 innings would fly by thanks to Driver's consistent tenacity. So we head to the bottom 5th. Raiders looking for a key insurance run as they hold a 2-run lead still. With 1 out, Tommy Lieberman at second. All it takes is 1 pitch. Make that the first pitch John Cholfi sees in his solid at-bat. Cholfi rips to left, driving in Lieberman for the clutch RBI, and that makes it a 3-run deficit for Braintree. The deeper we go into this game, the harder to erase that 3-run lead. Fast forward to the 7th. Jay Driver in beast mode, only allowing 3 hits all game, handcuffing Braintree's bats, and has also had great defense backing him up. Like this one right here, as the second out comes thanks to Colin Blasco, who makes this fantastic diving catch. And so with Brian Dennehy at the plate, it's the last hope for Braintree. But it's only fitting for Jay Driver to own a complete game shutout here, to smoke this pitch right by Dennehy, striking him out to end the game. Raiders played solid in this one, offensively getting RBIs by John Cholfi, Kai Grokey, and Max Zajac. And then defensively, Jay Driver throwing an absolute gem on the mound, picking the Womps lineup apart with every nasty pitch. Driver hurls a 3-hit complete game, shutting out Braintree by the final 3-0. So we stay with baseball and awesome weather as we head back to spring the very next day here on Wednesday, as well as they would meet up with the Newton North Tigers. Solid pitching and timely hitting had brought Raiders a 6-3 record. Looking for more. Raiders have their youth in the lineup and they are solid. Junior Henry Weicker and sophomores Jay Driver and Max Zajac striking out the competition just as well. On the mound for this one will be Zajac. After an inning and a half, it's been a back-and-forth game here with Tigers holding the lead at 3-2. We check in to the bottom of the second. Ryan Carroll taking the first pitch he sees right back up the middle for a leadoff single. And then it's quickly moved into scoring position at second thanks to a Matt Maiona sac bunt. Colin Blasco then rips this single to left, and that ball gets by Alex Krylov, giving pinch runner Warren Downey plenty of time to cross home plate. Blasco's RBI here ties this one back up 3-3. 1 out later, Blasco still at first base. Well, until Henry Weicker takes the first pitch he sees and launches it deep to right. That home run blast ain't coming back. In fact, it probably hit some Route 9 traffic and got lost. Just saying. Weicker goes yard and then some, and with one swing of the bat, loudly gives Raiders back the lead in this second, 5-3, and everyone is pumped. Starting pitcher Max Zajac then helps out his own cause, driving in Kai Grokey off this rocket shot to right center. That finds its way to the outfield fence. Zajac with a stand-up RBI double, and what an inning here, as a once 3-2 deficit is now a 6-3 lead. Bottom fourth we head to next. Raiders playing clutch right here as they execute the play they more than mastered in last year's memorable playoff run. Tricking the opponent into a rundown between first and second, just long enough for the runner at third to make a mad dash to home, and this time, Colin Blasco comes across, adding another insurance run here. Kai Grokey would then do his job, lifting a sac fly to right. Deep enough, Henry Weicker tags up at third and wins the race to the plate, and that makes it 8-3 Raiders. So, how key were those 2 runs in that fourth? Well, we get that answer in the very next inning. Henry Bonifant leads things off, crushing it deep right center with a stand-up double. And that's it for Zajac, as Kai Grokey comes on in relief. First batter he sees, Grokey gets Thomas Burns to ground out, but that moves the runner to third. So 90 feet away, this wild pitch comes at the worst time. Tiger run easily comes across, and it's now 8-4. Still batting, Spencer Checkaway grounds to second. Tommy Lieberman cannot field it cleanly, and that makes him rush the throw to first. Sails too high for the error. Checkaway to second, and Andrew Haas speeds home. And off 2 Raider errors in this inning, the North edges that much closer, down 8-5, still in this fifth. 2 out now, runner on third. Ryan McLaughlin keeps this Tigers rally alive with a blast to right center. RBI double for McLaughlin. Newton North chipping away here, trailing 8-6. Still looking for that elusive final out of this fifth. Raiders will have to wait just a little bit more as Dante Taylor's RBI drives in McLaughlin, and an 8-3 Wellesley lead is no more. We've got a 1-run ball game here as Tigers trail 8-7. Kai Grokey finally gets Raiders out of this jam by way of the K as Alex Krylov goes down looking. Tigers doing some damage though as Wellesley escapes, still holding on to the lead, but now it's only by a run. But Raiders grinded out these next 2 innings, and top 7th John Wernley comes in on the mound looking for the save and does just that. as Tigers end up leaving a runner on first when Dante Taylor holds up on this pitch, and it's a called strike 3, the last one in this game, as John Worley catches Taylor looking for the clutch strikeout. Speaking of clutch, Raiders bats early on helped them outlast the Tigers, striking fast in the second to take back the lead. And how timely that fourth would be for Wellesley as they hold on for the tough victory, as Raiders behind a 2-run homer by Henry Weicker hold off Newton North in the end here at Sprague by the final 8-7. Well, that does it for this episode, but don't worry, there's plenty more highlights to come. And yes, you don't have to remind me, I am way behind, and I do apologize for that, but this is honestly the busiest spring sports I've ever had to deal with. So, be patient, bear with me. Plenty more highlights to come and a lot of double episodes of Black Red Blitz. So look for the newest one coming soon. In the meantime, if you want to catch up on any highlights or complete games of Raiders, check us out on demand at wellesleymedia.org, our YouTube and Facebook pages at Wellesley Public Media, and of course, right here, Comcast 9 and Verizon 39. As always, thanks for watching Black Red Blitz. Go Raiders.
Now Hubbard coming out to play. Hubbard gets leveled. And oh my goodness.